Player hasn't been far from the headlines in recent weeks. Let's go to the back page.
Gabriel Jesus edging towards Arsenal exit as AC Milan lead the race. Ladies and gentlemen, a major Arsenal transfer story is developing tonight. And this one could completely reshape Mikel Arteta's attacking options before the new Premier League season even begins. Gabriel Jesus, the Brazilian international, the player who was once Arsenal's marquee signing, could now be approaching the Emirates Stadium exit. According to multiple reports, AC Milan are currently leading the race to sign the Arsenal forward after the Gunners reportedly lowered their asking price to around £20 million. And that's a significant development, because only months ago, many expected Gabriel Jesus to remain part of Arteta's plans. Now, everything appears to be changing. Reports suggest Arsenal are prepared to listen to offers. AC Milan have already begun discussions. Juventus are monitoring the situation. Atletico Madrid remain interested. And suddenly, one of Arsenal's most experienced forwards finds himself at the centre of one of the summer's biggest transfer stories. But here's the really interesting part. Despite reportedly lowering their valuation, Arsenal forcing Gabriel Jesus out. Instead, the club's position appears very clear. If the right proposal arrives, if the player wants the move, and if every party reaches an agreement, only then will Arsenal approve the transfer, which means this story is far from finished. So today, we'll explain exactly why AC Milan have suddenly accelerated their interest, why Arsenal may now be willing to sell, how Victor Gyökeres has completely changed the situation, whether Juventus or Atletico Madrid could still hijack the deal, and what Gabriel Jesus himself reportedly wants for the next chapter of his career. Because this transfer could become one of the defining Arsenal stories of the summer. When Gabriel Jesus first arrived from Manchester City, the excitement was enormous. This wasn't simply another signing. This was a Premier League champion, a Brazilian international, a player who had worked under Pep Guardiola, someone expected to completely transform Arsenal's attack. And initially, that's exactly what happened. Jesus immediately changed Arsenal's style. His movement, his pressing, his link-up play, his intensity, everything seemed perfectly suited to Mikel Arteta's football. And that's exactly where AC Milan enter the story. The Italian giants have already invested heavily this summer. One of their biggest pieces of business has been signing Gonçalo Ramos from Paris Saint-Germain. That move has effectively solved one major problem. Milan now have their starting striker, but every elite club needs depth, especially with domestic football, European competition, cup matches, and inevitable injuries. Milan believe they still require another experienced forward, not necessarily someone demanding every match, but someone capable of making an immediate impact whenever called upon. And according to the reports, Gabriel Jesus perfectly fits that profile. It's actually quite easy to understand. Despite recent struggles, Gabriel Jesus still possesses qualities that very few forwards can offer. He presses relentlessly, he works for the team, he links midfield with attack, he's comfortable drifting wide, he can play centrally, he understands elite tactical systems, he's experienced, and perhaps most importantly, he's already succeeded at the highest level. Premier League titles, Champions League football, international tournaments with Brazil. Those experiences cannot simply be measured by statistics. They bring leadership, professionalism, winning mentality, exactly the type of qualities Milan continue searching for as they attempt to return to the very top of European football. Now let's discuss perhaps the biggest headline: money. According to Brazilian journalist Jorge Nicola, Arsenal have reportedly reduced their asking price. Instead of demanding around €30 million, reports now suggest the Gunners would consider offers in the region of £20 million, or approximately 23 million. That immediately changes the market. Suddenly, a player previously considered expensive becomes much more accessible, especially for clubs like AC Milan. However, there is one important detail supporters should remember. Lowering an asking price does not automatically mean Arsenal want to sell. It simply means the club are prepared to negotiate if the right opportunity presents itself. That's a very different situation. Interestingly, even though Arsenal's reported valuation has already fallen, AC Milan reportedly aren't stopping there. The Italian club are still attempting to negotiate an even lower fee, which shouldn't surprise anyone. That's how transfer negotiations usually work. Selling clubs ask for one number, buying clubs offer another. Eventually, if both sides compromise, a deal becomes possible. And according to the reports, those conversations are continuing. No agreement has yet been announced. No official offer has been accepted. But Milan currently appear to be the club pushing hardest. Of course, no major transfer story stays simple for very long, because AC Milan aren't alone. Reports indicate that both Juventus and Atletico Madrid have also made inquiries regarding Gabriel Jesus. At this stage, neither club is reported to have submitted a formal proposal, but their interest remains significant. That means Milan cannot assume they have already won the race. If another club suddenly accelerates negotiations, everything could change, and we've seen exactly that happen countless times during previous transfer windows. Football moves incredibly quickly, especially once multiple elite clubs become involved.
Gabriel Jesus leaving Arsenal. AC Milan lead £20 million transfer race. Full transfer breakdown, what it means for Arsenal, and what could happen next. Reports continue to link Arsenal striker Gabriel Jesus with a possible move away from the Emirates Stadium, with AC Milan reportedly among the club's Manito. Ring his situation. While nothing has been officially confirmed, speculation over a potential £20 million transfer has sparked major debate among supporters. In this in-depth article, we examine why the rumors have emerged, what Gabriel Jesus has contributed to Arsenal, why AC Milan could be interested, what Arsenal might do if he leaves, possible replacements, tactical implications, financial considerations, and what the future could hold for both club and player. Gabriel Jesus leaving Arsenal. AC Milan lead £20 million transfer race. The summer transfer window is always filled with excitement, speculation, and endless debate. Every year, some of football's biggest names are linked with new clubs, while supporters anxiously wait to discover which rumors are genuine and which eventually disappear. This summer, one name that continues to generate discussion is Arsenal forward Gabriel Jesus. The Brazilian international has been linked with a possible exit from the Emirates Stadium, with reports suggesting that Serie A giants AC Milan are interested in bringing him to Italy. Several reports have even claimed that Milan could be leading the race for the striker, with a transfer fee of around £20 million being mentioned. At the time of writing, however, no official agreement has been announced by either Arsenal or AC Milan. The situation remains speculative, but it has certainly raised interesting questions. Could Gabriel Jesus really leave Arsenal? Would AC Milan be the perfect destination? Would Arsenal be making the right decision by selling him? Who would replace him? Could this become one of the biggest transfer stories of the summer? Let's examine every angle. Gabriel Jesus' Arsenal journey. When Arsenal signed Gabriel Jesus from Manchester City in the summer of 2022, excitement immediately spread throughout North London. Many supporters believed Arsenal had finally signed an elite striker. Jesus arrived with Premier League experience, 4 league titles, Champions League experience, a winning mentality under Pep Guardiola, exceptional pressing ability. Unlike many traditional strikers, Gabriel Jesus offered much more than goals. He pressed defenders, he linked midfield with attack, he created space for teammates, he worked tirelessly without the ball. Mikel Arteta knew exactly what he was getting because he had previously worked with Jesus while serving as Pep Guardiola's assistant at Manchester City. A brilliant start. Jesus could hardly have asked for a better beginning. During his opening weeks in an Arsenal shirt, He looked unstoppable. He scored goals, created assists, won penalties, terrorized defenders. Supporters immediately fell in love with his energy. The Emirates Stadium had found a new fan favorite. Many even believed Arsenal had signed one of the bargains of the season. Injury problems changed everything. Unfortunately, football can change very quickly. Jesus suffered serious injuries that interrupted his momentum. Instead of building upon his excellent start, he found himself spending long periods recovering. Every time he seemed ready to regain his best form, another setback appeared. Injuries prevented him from maintaining consistency. Arsenal continued to evolve. While Jesus battled injuries, Arsenal's squad continued improving. New signings arrived. Young players developed. Competition increased. The club's ambitions became even bigger. Mikel Arteta transformed Arsenal into one of Europe's strongest teams. That meant every player had to compete even harder for minutes. Why AC Milan might be interested. From AC Milan's perspective, Gabriel Jesus offers several attractive qualities. First, he has elite-level experience. Second, he understands what it takes to compete for major trophies. Third, he is still capable of performing at a high level when fully fit. Fourth, his versatility makes him extremely valuable. Jesus can play center forward, left wing, right wing, false nine. That flexibility would suit Milan perfectly. Serie A could suit Gabriel Jesus. Many Premier League players have enjoyed successful careers in Italy. Serie A is tactical. Strikers often receive more structured attacking support. A move to Italy could allow Jesus to rediscover his confidence. Rather than relying solely on explosive pace, his intelligent movement and technical ability could become even more effective. Why Arsenal might consider selling. Every transfer involves difficult decisions. Arsenal must constantly balance squad depth, financial sustainability, wage structure, future planning. If Arsenal receive a suitable offer for a player who may not be guaranteed regular starts, they could consider negotiations. However, whether £20 million would represent acceptable value is another question entirely. Experience cannot be replaced easily. One argument against selling Jesus is experience. Arsenal compete across multiple competitions. Having experienced winners inside the dressing room is extremely valuable. Jesus has won major trophies. He understands pressure. Young players learn from professionals like him every day. Competition improves teams. Elite clubs need competition. No player should feel guaranteed a starting place. Jesus pushes everyone around him. Even if he isn't always starting, his presence raises standards in training. Managers love players who challenge teammates. Tactical intelligence. One of Gabriel Jesus' greatest strengths is his football intelligence. His pressing triggers, his movement, his positioning, his understanding of space. These qualities often go unnoticed by casual viewers. Managers appreciate them enormously. What would AC Milan gain? Should Milan complete the signing, they would gain an experienced Champions League performer, a hard-working forward, a technically gifted attacker. A player capable of playing several attacking positions. Someone hungry to prove himself again. The financial side. Transfer fees always generate debate. If reports suggesting around £20 million are accurate, opinions will differ. Some fans may believe that is too low. Others may argue it is fair considering recent injuries. The true valuation depends on negotiations, market demand, contract length, player wages, competing offers. Arsenal's possible replacements. If Jesus eventually leaves, Arsenal would almost certainly enter the market. Possible profiles include a younger striker, a clinical finisher, a physically dominant center forward, or another versatile attacker. Arteta has consistently shown that he values intelligent footballers who work hard without possession. Could academy players benefit? An exit might also create opportunities. Young Arsenal attackers could receive additional first-team minutes. Competition would still remain fierce, but pathways could become clearer. Arteta has never been afraid to trust talented youngsters. The fans are divided. Supporters appear split. Some believe Jesus deserves another opportunity to fully recover. Others think Arsenal should refresh the squad. Both opinions have logical arguments. That reflects how important Jesus has been during his Arsenal career. What does Gabriel Jesus want? Ultimately, the player's wishes matter enormously. Does he want regular football? Does he want a new challenge? Does he still believe he can become Arsenal's first-choice striker? Only Gabriel Jesus truly knows the answer. Mikel Arteta's decision. Arteta faces difficult choices every transfer window. Sentiment rarely determines decisions. Managers prioritize performance, availability, squad balance, future planning. If Arteta believes selling benefits Arsenal, the club may proceed. If he still views Jesus as an important contributor, Arsenal could reject offers. What happens next? As things stand, the reported AC Milan interest remains part of ongoing transfer speculation. Until Arsenal, AC Milan, or Gabriel Jesus officially confirm any agreement, supporters should treat claims of a completed £20 million move with caution. Transfer stories can develop quickly. Negotiations may intensify, stall, or end without a deal being reached. Much will depend on the club's valuations, the players' preferences, and Arsenal's plans for strengthening the squad before the transfer window closes. Whatever the outcome, Gabriel Jesus has played an important role in Arsenal's recent rise. His work rate, leadership, versatility, and experience have helped the club return to competing at the highest level in English and European football. If he stays, Arsenal retain a proven and experienced attacking option capable of making valuable contributions across a demanding season. If he leaves, he would depart having helped lay the foundations for Arsenal's resurgence under Mikel Arteta, while beginning a new chapter elsewhere. For now, Arsenal supporters can only wait as one of the summer's most talked about transfer stories continues to unfold.